Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So today I saw Kanye West on TMZ, and I want to just take some minutes to talk about his appearance on that show and what kind of statements he made. But before I do that, when I think about Kanye West and his recent antics, him wearing that Donald Trump cap that says Make America Great Again, him talking about how he loves Donald Trump and how Donald Trump has dragon energy and this and that, the first thing I thought about was Jay-Z's song, Kill Jay-Z, where he says, if everybody's crazy, then you're the one that's insane. And I really think something's wrong with Kanye West. I mean, this recent interview that he did just makes it abundantly clear that this man is sinking deeper and deeper into the sunken place. He's going deeper with it. He's going to a new low at this point. Because not only did this man recently say that he just loves Donald Trump, he just loves this racist, he just loves this misogynist. He just loves this man that hates Muslims, hates immigrants, hates everybody. This man who is disrespectful towards women, disrespectful towards handicapped people, a man that represents the worst of America. This is the man that Kanye West loves so much. And I discussed that in another video, but it gets even worse than that. It's not just about him wearing this Donald Trump hat. It's not just about him professing his love for Donald Trump. It is about statements that this man made about slavery. And this is what he said. He said, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, 400 years, that sounds like a choice. You were there for 400 years and it's all of y'all. This is what Kanye West said. Actually having the nerve, having the audacity to suggest that slavery was a choice, to suggest that our ancestors voluntarily got on those slave ships, voluntarily shackled themselves up, voluntarily got in those boats and were stuffed in there like sardines, voluntarily got in those boats and wallowed in their own filth and waste and vomit, voluntarily did this, voluntarily jumped off the boat and were fed to the sharks. Voluntarily did this stuff. Voluntarily came to a foreign land with foreign customs, foreign ways, and were voluntarily just gave up their traditional culture, voluntarily gave up their traditional religions, voluntarily gave up their traditional customs, voluntarily allowed the slave master to beat them day in and day out, voluntarily allowed the slave master to rape them, men and women, allowed this stuff to continue. You actually think that this was voluntary. You think that people volunteered to be slaves, volunteered, made a choice to be a slave, made a choice to have their families ripped apart, their children sold to different slave masters, volunteered for that, volunteered to be bred just like animals and dogs and horses and sheep, voluntarily decided to live like that, voluntarily made a choice to be castrated physically and mentally, voluntarily did this, voluntarily were held in bondage for hundreds of years. That is ridiculous. It is ridiculous for this man to open his mouth and say some nonsense like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Our people were not voluntary slaves. We did not choose slavery. We resisted slavery with every fiber in our bodies and in our minds. If it was a choice, why were there so many slave revolts on slave ships and on plantations? If it was some choice, it was no choice. We were forced into bondage. They had weapons and they used them to force us into servitude. It wasn't a choice, and it is preposterous that this man would utter those words. Can you imagine somebody telling a Jew that the Holocaust was his choice? Can you imagine somebody telling the native peoples in America that genocide was their choice? Have we forgotten about our genocide, about the hundreds of thousands of Africans who died during the Middle Passage? You think that they made a choice to do so? You think they made a choice to go through that kind of suffering? The only reason why that happened was because these people had the weapons and the means to make us slaves. We didn't choose to be slaves. We didn't choose to be brainwashed and brain dead. We didn't choose this for ourselves. And it is ridiculous that this man would suggest that. This man is deep, deep inside of the sunken place. That is the only way you can explain this. And he did this other interview where he was talking about how he was on opioids and this and that. This man is not mentally stable. There is something wrong with him. He was in a hospital due to some kind of breakdown or some kind of mental problems that he was having. You know, this man has gone on ridiculous rants during his concerts. And this man did an interview with Charlemagne the God. I tried to listen to it, but it was so incomprehensible. This man rambles on and on without making any kind of sense at all. There is something wrong with this man, and he needs help. If he had people around him that loved him, they would be the ones to tell him that he needs counseling, he needs help. This is a form of mental illness. That's the only way you can explain this nonsensical stuff that is coming from this man. You know, his real friends would be the ones to warn him or to guide him or to teach him. It's like this man is basically trolling the black community at this point. And, you know, I'm glad that that brother that was on TMZ basically called him out on this. You know, this guy is talking about he's free because he can wear a Donald Trump hat. That's his idea of freedom. His idea of freedom is trampling on the ancestors, you know, by disrespecting them, suggesting that somehow they voluntarily chose to be slaves. They made a choice to be a slave. This is so ridiculous. And the sad thing is, this is nothing new. This is a statement that you had other house Negroes make. You know, you had this one woman running around with a Confederate flag, a damn symbol of the oppression of her people. And she was the first one that I heard say this nonsense about slavery being a choice. All this does is feed into that popular narrative that we were happy slaves, that we are docile by nature. That is the stereotype that this man is perpetuating. And then this guy, Kanye West, is trying to go beyond his race while he disrespects his people. Talking about he's, beyond just being some black artist. He's beyond hip hop. He's all about one race, the human race, and this and that, while he tramples on his ancestors and disrespects his ancestors. Many of these people that talk this one race stuff, they have no respect for their people. They have no pride for their people. And it's apparent to me that this guy is going downhill, mentally. He is going deeper and deeper into that sunken place. It's like somebody has taken over his mind. That's how he is functioning. That's the way he is acting. And it's a damn shame to see somebody like this fall so far. You know, this is a man that produces great music. He's a great artist. And the sad thing is that he has a large audience. What he says matters. It makes a difference. You know, I'm just glad that people are calling him out for this. Many people are speaking out against him for making these ridiculous statements. And when this person on TMZ called him out, he basically told the guy that he was sorry for hurting them and this and that. This guy, Kanye West, is so out of touch with his own people that it is frightening. It's scary. And again, I think that Jay-Z was on to something when he said that if everybody is crazy, then you're the one that's insane. Kanye West talked about in another segment of his interview on TMZ, he talked about how he was on opioids and this and that, his struggles with painkillers and stuff like that, following some liposuction that this guy had. He is losing it. He is literally losing it. I mean, but anyway, I just had to get on here and vent for a second, man. Just imagine a Jew saying that the Holocaust was a choice, or or a Native person talking about genocide of the Native people was a choice, or any other oppressed group of people talking about their oppression was a choice. I mean, you would condemn that person. Those people would be ridiculed in their community. And I think the same thing needs to happen with Kanye West. He needs to be educated. That's what that brother needs, because he has been thoroughly miseducated. You know, it's like something is wrong with these Kardashians, man. They get their hands on a black man and they destroy him. And that's what's happening to this guy, Kanye West. But anyway, tell me what you think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.